Now y'all give God some praise now. How about that? My God, Greg, you got your laptop up here. Do you want this? Taking up all the space. My goodness, there we go. Well, Greg asked me to speak tonight just on something. And the first reaction I had, of course, was, heck no. I don't want anything to do with that. I'll stick to doing, the New Hope Live before service, and that'll be it for me. I'm not a speaker. I'm not, this is not what I do. But I don't know. I'll explain, as you'll see in a few minutes, of what I feel like God has put in my life to do, and what a word that all of us should grab hold of and run with, and that's purpose. And I'm just going to talk about, some things I've been through, my life experiences, as far as what got me to where I'm at right now. And I started off, I loved sports when I was a kid. I grew up playing all kind of sports, but basketball ultimately won out over every one of them. So in high school, I wanted to go play college ball, play college basketball. So I finally got the opportunity to go to play at Atlanta Christian College, and I worked my butt off, you know what I'm saying? I was in the gym every day, countless hours after hours, shooting the same shot after the same shot, doing dribbling drills with, doing stupid stuff, right? I mean, you think it's stupid. I'd tie ankle weights to my wrist and dribble with the ball so I could get quicker, you know what I'm saying? So just, crazy stuff, but it worked, you know what I'm saying? I will do you in on the basketball court. Do not try me. But, I had my goal, my plan was to, because I always knew it'd be kind of tough to get into the NBA. Everybody's like, I want to play in the NBA, it's a lot more difficult than you think. But, my ultimate dream, I finally made it to college basketball playing, and, I finally realized, the realization was like, hey, you're probably not going to make it to the league, all right? So, when you're not playing that many minutes a game and you're getting what we call the garbage minutes, the last 2 or 3 minutes of the game, we're up by 50. Jordan, get in there! Thanks, Coach. I appreciate that. So, I made the most of it, but every day I was faithful. I was working hard, even though I wasn't playing as much as all the other guys were. I was in that gym more than they were, shooting, working out, lifting weights, lifting after practice, doing all that stuff, doing the necessary things so when I was called upon, I would be able to help the team. So, I was like, okay, maybe I can go play overseas. Overseas is not that bad if none of y'all know. They get paid pretty good over there and it's tax-free. So, I was like, hey, maybe I can try this out. Go play in Puerto Rico or something. We'll try that. That's overseas enough. But, that didn't work out, so... So after that, after the season was over, I was actually, during the season, I was getting interested in acting. I want to be an actor. I wanted to, go be in movies and stuff. And so I took acting classes in college, and, that was fun. That was interesting. And because the reason I did that, because my plan was, well, I'm not going to play basketball now. I'm going to move out to Los Angeles, live with my brother, because my brother Jake lives out there, and that's where Hollywood is. And that's where you can get looked at as a star and go audition for movies and all that kind of thing. So I started taking acting classes, watching all my favorite actors, Denzel and Brad, all those guys. So, I started trying to pick up on them and took the same kind of technique as my basketball. I took that with acting. I started dissecting stuff, like working on it. And you can laugh, but I'd look in the mirror and do impressions and all that kind of stuff. So, whatever, laugh, ha-ha. But anyway, that was my plan. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to go to Los Angeles and, get out of here. And I did not, want to work at a church, and I want to be in ministry. And, because I saw all the things my dad went through, as I was growing up, all the crap he had to put up with, all the, but thank God for putting up with the crap, because he got us to where we're at today, So, I'm just being serious, I'm just talking to you how I know to talk. But, so, I didn't want to be anywhere in here. I'd come to church, obviously, but not doing this. This was not, and, I never would have fathomed this. talking in front of you guys right now, and I'm just peeing my pants. But anyway, so I turned my focus to going to Los Angeles, being an actor, doing acting classes. Was in a few little plays there at Georgia College and State University. Go Bobcats! And during the course of the last half of that semester, my final semester there, I would come home on the weekends and I'd be here. I'd just come hang out here with masters was going on, just hanging out here, just wanting to be here. And it's amazing how God will flip your heart. And I was so gung-ho on just going to Los Angeles. I told my dad, like, Dad, I'm out of here. I got a plan. I'm going to leave in September. I'm going to go live out there for maybe, 2 or 3 years. And you can just catch me on the screen, all right? So that was my plan. But like I said, God will flip your heart and totally make you do a 180 when, the plan that I had was nowhere near the plan that He had, has for me now. So that's what I was, going after. And I finally figured out just coming here and just saying, you know what? It was just simple as saying this: God, just allow me to walk in the path you want me to walk in. And that's as easy as it is. And you might be sitting out there tonight and you might be saying, well, I want to go do this, I want to go do that. Well, that's fine, because through all this process, through going to college, and college is great, don't get me wrong, but going to college and playing basketball and working hard at basketball and doing homework and all that stuff, that taught me, that gave me a diligence that God has allowed me to use in the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? He gave me I don't know what it is, and it's not 5-hour energy, but it's, I have a natural energy that, I just wake up every day just with my level up here, just ready to, take on the world. And I know that's not me. I know God's put that in me to do, because He made me go through that whole, process of working and being diligent, being faithful when I didn't have to be. You understand? And that's how you can apply that to the church. When nobody's here watching you, you're in here, you're taking groceries to a family who don't have food. You're picking a kid up for church that doesn't have a ride. You know what I'm saying? You're going to paint a house that somebody can't afford to paint in their house, planting flowers for somebody, that kind of thing. And that's the kind of heart that I have now for people that is just, it's really, all I can explain is it's just God, because my attitude used to be, what can you do for me? That kind of attitude, I'm Bishop Poole's son. You're supposed to do that for me. That kind of thing. I just, not arrogant attitude, but just like, okay, yeah, I just take it for granted. Hey, thanks, But now my attitude is just totally just flipped, and I'm just wanting to help people. My heart is just for people, and I know it might be cliche or whatever, but my dream is to really make other people's dreams come true, and I want to do that so bad. And I really believe that God He's touched my heart, and He's put me here for a purpose. He's really put me through training without really putting me through training, having to go through it, because I watched what my dad did and just what he does, and I kind of just mimicked that and took on what he does, and but I'm not going to spit and all that kind of stuff like he does. But and have a weed reference every sermon. Every sermon, have you noticed that? Every sermon he has a pot reference. Listen, watch. Next time he preaches, yeah, we were smoking doobies and la. I'm serious. Watch. God, as my witness, He will say that next sermon. Seriously, He will. But but like I was saying, all the efforts and the energy that God, I had for basketball, I'm putting it now into the kingdom. And I just want to convey that to you tonight, that if you don't know what your purpose is, you may, wake up, just go to work every day. That's what you do. You think that's what you're put here to do. And it's not. God has so much more that He wants to do if you will just simply say, God, I'm available. Like He sang Sunday, I just want to be available. I'm a vessel, and that's just as simple as that. And you'll be so surprised how God will just start opening doors for you to do that. Just to, I don't know, any kind of dream you may have to do something in ministry, whatever. God will open the door, you know, just whatever you want to do. The possibilities are endless to change somebody's life, but it all just starts, you know, you have to change somebody's life one person at a time. That's how you change the world. So with, you know, I have a heart for people. I'm just, you know, I've never felt God the way I do now in my life. And the only reason that is because every day I wake up, I say, God, I just want to walk in the path that you've directed for me. I just want to fulfill the plan that you have for me, you know, and that's it. And I just go throughout my day just doing what he would want me to do, and basically what he wants all of us to do, and that's serve others. Because Jesus was a servant himself. He washed the feet, you know what I'm saying? He did all. He died on a cross, my God. What more can you say? You know, gave his life so that we could have a purpose and live and provide us an opportunity to, you know, serve other people.